Israel's security forces and Palestinian leaders are bracing for weeks of violence as the death toll in a bloody weekend of confrontations over Israel's placement of metal detectors at the entrance to the compound housing the Al-Aqsa mosque reached 7. The fears were voiced as Israel deployed thousands of extra troops to the West Bank, amid a stark call from the Middle East Quartet, representing the United States, Russia, the European Union and the United Nations, urging all sides to demonstrate maximum restraint. 6 dead as Israeli-Palestinian tensions boil over. Read more. With the UN Security Council due to discuss the mounting tensions around the holy site known to Muslims as the Haram al-Sharif, and revered by Jews as the Temple Mount, there were indications on Sunday that Israel may be considering replacing the metal detector gates with different, but still enhanced security measures at the compound's entrances. However, they, too, are likely to be controversial. Indeed, the Mufti of Jerusalem, Sheikh Mohammed Hussein, on Sunday insisted on a complete return to previous arrangements at the site. In the first indication, however, that it might be preparing for a partial climb down, it was reported Israel was installing new security cameras at the entrance to a sensitive Jerusalem holy site on Sunday amid claims it was seeking an alternative to the metal detectors. The issue exploded into more serious violence on Friday, after days of nighttime clashes after the metal detectors installation, which followed an attack on 14 July which killed 2 Israeli policemen at the entrance to the site by 3 Israeli Arabs who, Israel says, smuggled weapons into the compound. In escalating clashes since Friday, 4 Palestinians have been killed in confrontations with Israeli security forces that has seen Israeli troops use live fire, stun grenades and water cannon on protesters, while a family of 3 Israeli settlers was stabbed to death by a Palestinian who entered their home in the West Bank. The sheer scale of the risks involved was made clear on Sunday morning when Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who has long threatened to end security cooperation with Israel, cancelled a planned security meeting after announcing he was cutting all contacts. At the center of the issue has been 2 competing impetuses. The first has been the politics of Israel's far-right coalition, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, which, say critics, led his cabinet to ignore warnings from senior security officials when deciding to install the metal detectors. The second is centered on the profound Palestinian religious, national and cultural sensitivities around the compound. And at the center of the violence has been a deadly miscalculation by the Netanyahu government that bridged both issues, which saw police recommend the installation of the metal detectors in the immediate aftermath of the 14th of July attack, persuaded by the idea it would play well with right-wing politicians and voters who had called for Israel to impose further sovereignty over the site. Netanyahu ignored reported warnings from other security officials, including the Shin Bet domestic intelligence agency, that it could spark bloodshed.